Van Halen. Favorite 3 songs from each album, part 2. So these are going to be my favorite songs from their studio albums. We finished off with Fair Warning in part 1. So now let's dive into Diver Down. So this one, just reading up on it, the record company really wanted them to push out another album. So it's a ton of cover songs on here. Opens up with Where Have All the Good Times Gone, cover song. You have the hit of Oh Pretty Woman, Dancing in the Street. And I didn't want to take any covers. I know I did in Van Halen too. And this album just kind of forces me to, to take at least one cover. And so listening to this one again this morning, I'm going to go with Little Guitars. I think that one's cool. I like the guitar intro. So you'll see track 8 and 9. So I'm going to do those as a combo. A guitar intro, anything Eddie does is spectacular, and then goes into 9. And the other song I like is Secrets. So if I was going to put all those songs together, I really don't think there's hits here when it comes to their original material. I mean, these songs might even be leftovers from their other recordings, but Secrets is one. If I'm going to rank them, I like that one. And then I couldn't help myself, going to go Dancing in the Street. When I first bought this on cassette, that song and Oh Pretty Woman were the 2 I played the most out of. So going to give Dancing in the Street is going to be my number 1. Then let's go Little Guitars, the intro and the song, and then Secrets for Diver Down. But yeah, this is the album I probably have listened to the least in all Van Halen. Had it, like I said, in cassette back in the day. We're probably 88, 89 is probably when I bought it. Buying BMG Music and Columbia House. That's where I was getting cassettes from, the eventually CDs. But yeah, Diver Down. The next record's one of my favorites. It could be my favorite with David Lee Roth, 1984. Released in 1984. I was 6 years old, 5 years old, depending on where it came out in the year. But Jump, oh man, that song, just as a young kid, it's catchy. The synthesizer comes in. You could hear it at different arenas if you're going to go see some sporting events. And I remember my best buddy at the time, we like very similar music, and in the swimming pool we had this 1984 cassette playing, and for Jump, anytime they would say sing the word jump, we would jump into the pool. So in and out, jumping in the pool, just being, silly young kids. But yeah, dig this album. It's gonna be tough what songs I pick. I mean, I've heard Jump so much, I don't want to. I'm less likely to pick it, just because I've heard it so much. But I always liked I'll Wait. That's a cool one. Synthesizer, more of a ballady type vibe on I'll Wait, but I'm definitely picking that one. That one's super cool. Panama, just a Van Halen staple. Good riff, energetic song, whether it's Ross singing it, which is better, but even when Sammy sings it in the later years in concert, I think he did a really good job with it. Classic song. So then it comes down to, what am I going to do? Am I going to go Jump? Am I going to go Hot for Teacher? I like the drumming that happens with that. Drop Dead Legs is cool. Drop Dead Legs. Girl Gone Bad. I really just dig this record. Between Van Halen 1 and 1984, those are my 2 favorites with Roth by a long shot. But because Jump, I love the heck out of that. Forever gonna go Jump, Panama, and I'll Wait as my favorite songs on 1984. This is the most must-own album. Go ahead and get this one if you don't have it. Yeah, it's probably like you go on that desert island and there you are. Drama in the Van Halen camp. Roth's going to go off and do his solo work. He's got some couple good solo records that come out. In comes in Sammy Hagar, who has this really big catalog of his solo career. I Can't Drive 55. That may be in his most famous song of the time. But Hagar was already in the band by the time I started listening to Van Halen. And so I was more drawn to the Hagar stuff initially, because that's what I grew up on with Sammy, Artie, and Van Halen. So their first record together, and it's their best one, 5150. What a great album, man. From the get-go, hello, baby, to the end of it. 1984, 5150, just Van Halen was locked in, putting out some great music. So this one is, again, like 1984, to pick the songs like the best. Definitely going to go 5150. Heard this one again, new appreciation for it with Satriani being in Hagar's band, and he's playing the intro to 5150. And so just to see the how complicated Eddie wrote and what he made it look so easy on guitar, and having Satriani explain it. I already liked 5150, but it made me like it that much more. And then the first song when I had this album was Why Can't This Be Love? But I've heard that song so many times. I'm not going to go with that one today. We're going to go Good Enough, one of the more upbeat songs, 5150, and then Summer Nights. That's a cool one too. Guitar work builds, gets into the song. Song's got some good energy, good depth, great variation. But yeah, 5150, another one. Yeah, you're stuck somewhere. This is an album you want. Good, front to back, back to front. But yeah, 1984, 5150. These two of the best Van Halen records that they ever put out. And then from there we go OU812. So this is going to be the second record with Sammy Hagar and their singles. I think they had 3 singles right out of the gate. So I remember watching them on MTV. When It's Love, Feel So Good, and then Finish What You Started. This album definitely has more of the synthesizer work in here. A lot of these songs are very radio friendly. I would say poppy. I liked Finish What You Started from the get-go. It kind of has this twangy guitar work in there. And then you can listen to Sammy Hagar where he got inspiration for that song. But then you have Mine Oh Mine, cool song, Cabo Wabo. I think that ends up being Sammy Hagar's tequila bar in Mexico years later. And I like Black and Blue. But I'm going to go with the singles because I was a young kid. It came out 9 or 10 years old at this point, watching those music videos. When It's Love is still one of my top 10 Hagar Van Halen songs. I really like that one. And then Finish What You Started. It's a different groove, different Van Halen sound, but I like it here. I even like when Sammy does the acoustic album and has that one on there. Great song. And then the third song, I was going between Mine Oh Mine, Cabo Wabo, and Feel So Good. But as I played all 3 of them, when Feel So Good kicks in, it just brings up good memories for me. So definitely, When It's Love, Finish What You Started, and Feel So Good. This record's good, just not nearly as strong as 5150, but it's one I put on from time to time, and trying to get the other songs to grow on me all these years later. And then let's do one more, right? So we've done 3. We did Dive It Down, 1984, and 5150. So now let's go to the third album with Sammy Hagar. This is For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. So FUCK is short for this record. I remember when this one came out, they had their Flannel, Pound Cake single came out, a Runaround single came out, and they're just grooving, playing music. They had quite a few singles. Right Now was a big one. When Crystal Pepsi came out, Right Now was the song for that one. And Top of the World, really cool song. So there's good stuff in here. In the beginning, this one let me down, other than the singles, but the songs have grown on me over the years. But doesn't hold a candle to 5150 in my opinion. But Pound Cake, Eddie has the electric drill for the guitar. That was kind of vogue at the time. You had these hard rock metal bands playing songs with drill bits spinning on their guitar for that sound. So I really like Pound Cake. That's going to be one of my favorites here. Run Around, I think that was their second single. I like that one quite a bit too. Not as good as Pound Cake, but I like that one. And then I was going between The Dream Is Over and then Top of the World, but I like the guitar work on Top of the World better. So yeah, this is a good record. It's gotten better for me over the years, but I dig it. So yeah, this is part 2. You got a couple albums from David Lee Roth, and then we have 3 here with Sammy Hagar. So we'll do one more video of the Van Halen releases. We'll get the last one with Sammy, Gary Sharon coming in, and then another one with David Lee Roth in our next video. All right, y'all. You all have a good one.